I'm senior reporter Roland Barris. Breaking news this morning. The federal government is now shut down. It's been shut down for about the past 8 hours now, and we will have a full breakdown on its potential impact, how this shutdown could be different for U.S. households than past ones. Plus, lots in store for you from our large team of neighborhood reporters this morning, like our Eagle neighborhood reporter Greenlee Clark, who highlights a public safety investment with an incoming fire station along Highway 55, which the BLM says will vastly improve response times. And they'll have a close connection there. Also in Meridian, as the population continues to rapidly grow, our Allie Tripke shows us ACHD's plans to expand one of the busiest stretches of road in the city. We'll get to all those stories in just a bit, but first, we start with the government shutdown this morning. Republicans and Democrats unable to make a deal happen, and as lawmakers blame each other, millions of federal employees are caught in the crosshairs. CNN's Amy Kiley has the very latest.
The federal government is now shut down. It's out of money because Congress can't agree on a funding plan. The main sticking point is health care. Democrats want to reverse Medicaid cuts and stop enhanced Obamacare subsidies from expiring.
We need to stop these premiums from going up dramatically.
They're arguing a December policy debate for a September funding issue.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates about 750,000 federal workers face furloughs. It says they'd otherwise make $400 million a day. Essential employees must work without pay.
Social Security checks will come in. National Weather Service, they'll still be producing forecasts. We're talking about the Department of Veterans Affairs. Those will still be open. Medicare will still be going on, and unemployment insurance will, in fact, still be reaching the people who, of course, need it most.
The State Department might be slow to issue passports. The military remains in place, but just under half of civilian defense employees are furloughed. National parks have skeleton crews. The FDA says food inspections are affected. As for transportation, about 3/4 of FAA staff are working without pay, a central issue in the last shutdown.
10 controllers actually called out sick, and it led to massive delays. And they said, you know what, we need to end this shutdown.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
So the big question is, how long is this going to last? The last government shutdown in 2019 was the longest in U.S. history, lasting 35 days. But this time, with an already shaky labor market, the economic fallout could be even more severe. CNN's Karen Kaifa reports on how the shutdown could potentially hit Americans' wallets harder than before.
Past, a shutdown of the federal government hasn't put too much of a long-term dent in the overall U.S. economy.
The reality is that it would not typically have a lasting impact on the economy, but it can be extremely detrimental for individuals.
Those individuals, typically government workers, furloughed without pay until the shutdown ends. But with a sputtering labor market, Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst at Bankrate, warns this time it could be different.
This is a precarious time, and in some ways, given the fact that the U.S. economy has been seen currently or recently at an inflection point, having the lack of visibility on the job market is extremely inopportune.
A government shutdown would delay the release of the Labor Department's monthly jobs report this upcoming Friday, which informs economists, businesses, and even the Federal Reserve about the state of the economy. Laura Ulrich, director of economic research for Indeed, says adding more uncertainty could further slow the economic engine.
We certainly see that when times are uncertain, people have a harder time making decisions, so that slows down economic activity that we see amongst consumers, but also amongst businesses. And so this is just one more thing to add to that list of items that are making the economy a bit uncertain at this point.
Potentially keeping the jobs market stuck. The Trump administration also warning there could be permanent cuts to the federal workforce if a shutdown occurs, putting more job hunters on the market. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
American soybean farmers scrambling as China retaliates against President Trump's tariffs. Last year, they bought $12.6 billion of the crop, making it America's top export to the country. This year, those sales dropped to zero.
When China quits buying, our prices go down.
Some American farmers calling on the president for a financial bailout.
All right, good Wednesday morning to you. I hope you're having a good start to your day. And as you take a look over downtown, gorgeous shot of our downtown area, 58 waking up this morning, so pretty chilly. You'll want to grab the light jacket and keep it with you. We remain pretty cool throughout the day. So by the time we head into this morning, you could see an isolated shower or two, but pretty dry as we head into lunchtime. Lower 70s, still plenty of sunshine out there, and you'll start to see a little bit more so than we did yesterday. And it was a little bit on and off rainy. However, we still do have some rain chances for today, mainly focused over those mountains. And as we head into tomorrow, those will grow a bit more widespread. So I'll be really just ironing out those details as we head into our morning.
A new fire station is coming to Eagle along Highway 55, where BLM is working with the city to boost their wildfire response. I'm your Eagle neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, learning how this partnership works and how neighbors feel about the project.
55 is always dangerous, especially in the summertime coming through this intersection.
After spending 3 decades working as a firefighter, Dan Hawkins knows how location can make or break emergency response. He lives close to the site where a new joint fire station between the Bureau of Land Management and the Eagle Fire Protection District will soon break ground. BLM says the facility will staff engines closer to the north end of their district and protect equipment inside climate-controlled storage.
So the response times are going to be a lot faster, so that'll help minimize that fire growth and allow our crews to get on scene quick.
I think it's going to give better access from a fire protection standpoint, that they're going to be able to get out onto Highway 55 and the local area, the foothills for those types of fires.
You don't have to look back too far to see crews responding to fires in the area. This Idaho News 6 footage from August shows firefighters responding to the Eagle foothills as flames burned right up to homes. And at some point, nearly every summer, fires spark along Highway 55.
We've been looking for years, the BLM been looking for years for a permanent home.
The collaboration between the BLM and the Eagle Fire Protection District will mark the first time crews from both agencies will operate out of the same station.
It's kind of brings us all together in the collaboration between the two departments and being able to train more often.
Another neighbor who did not want to be on camera told me he was frustrated by the lack of communication about the project. Still, he says he's glad the land will support wildfire crews instead of new housing, even though he'll miss the peace and quiet.
Just have that collaboration, that means a lot to us for success.
Oh, I'm just glad it's going to be in my backyard. I'm going to feel right at home.
BLM says the goal is to have the station ready by 2027. I'm your Eagle neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, for Idaho News 6.
This morning, the Lake Creek fire burning 512 acres northeast of Ketchum has reached 11% containment. Heavy rains and firefighting efforts have helped slow its spread, but the Forest Service has announced road closures and an area closure in the Wood River Valley. Lake Creek Road, Eagle Creek Road, and North Fork Ski Loop Road are among those affected. Pre-evacuation levels, though, remain unchanged. When we get back, backlash to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's speech addressing hundreds of military officials and officials within the department calling it a waste of money.
All right, neighborhood of the day is going to be Sun Valley. So as you head out for your morning, it is pretty chilly, 37 waking up here, partly cloudy as you head into this afternoon, mid-50s, and after the dusting of snow and rainfall here, we'll be finally seeing a calmer pattern today. But we aren't necessarily done with the rain just yet. I'll have all those details ahead.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Appreciate it. It is 11 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at your national headlines now. New tariffs kick in today, and they target pharmaceuticals that are coming into the United States. Last week, President Trump announced new 100% tariffs on prescription medications being imported. In recent decades, drug makers have moved many of their operations overseas to take advantage of lower production costs in China and India, or tax incentives, for instance, in Ireland and Switzerland. Now, several big drug makers have already announced plans to expand their production in the U.S. The White House is withdrawing the nomination of E.J. Antoni to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The Heritage Foundation economist was a major critic of the BLS, but most economists saw him as overtly partisan and warned that he could be a risk to lead the federal agency. Trump fired the previous BLS commissioner in August after a disappointing jobs report, and the president plans to announce a new nominee soon. And President Trump is proposing using American cities as training grounds for the armed forces. Addressing military brass at Quantico, Trump spoke of needing U.S. military might to combat what he called an invasion from within. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declared an end to woke culture in the military. He announced new directives, including gender-neutral or male-level standards for physical fitness. Now, Hegseth told military leaders to resign if they don't like his new approach, and the reaction from the crowd of military leaders was stale, with one defense official saying it, quote, could have been an email. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
New reaction to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's unprecedented speech to hundreds of military officials.
But if the words I'm speaking today are making your heart sink, then you should do the honorable thing and resign.
Hegseth announcing changes in military policy, including grooming and fitness standards.
The era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos. It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
As for ground combat roles, which women have been performing for more than a decade, the, quote, high male standard will now be the norm.
I don't want my son serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men.
The secretary also saying the rules of engagement meant to protect civilians have become too politically correct. President Trump taking the stage after Hegseth, warning of threats from within and suggesting U.S. troops be deployed domestically.
America is under invasion from within.
Trump also proposing U.S. cities themselves could be used as training grounds.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military.
California Governor Gavin Newsom responding, saying declaring war on our nation's cities and using our troops as political pawns is what dictators do. Those in the audience showing little reaction, in line with the military's code of apolitical discipline. But some in the room are now speaking out anonymously. One defense official saying the event was more like a press conference than briefing the generals, adding that it could have been an email. Another calling it a total waste of money.
Hegseth also ordered a review of the Pentagon's restrictions on hazing, suggesting those restrictions get in the way of achieving high standards. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
In Meridian, I have more on why changes could be coming to this stretch of Locust Grove Road between Fairview and Ustick.
Sophia Cruz with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
I can't wait to see the picture of Sun Valley when the sun starts coming up so we can see a little bit of that snow out there.
Me too, and I'm just excited, honestly, for the season to start. I know we both talk about it probably every day at this point. And it's just, how can you not be so excited, especially with things getting cooler out there. And now we've got this dusting of snow up at Sun Valley. It's very minimal, but it's just exciting to look forward to. If you're waking up here this morning, pretty chilly start to the day, mid-40s, still a nice shot. After all of the rain we saw and that dusting of snow, here's what some of our amounts came to. Just anywhere from over ½ of an inch as you made your way into the Treasure Valley from Middleton to Caldwell to almost near an inch in Meridian, about an inch in Eagle, a little bit lower than that than Boise, so about 1/3 of an inch here, so not as much, but still some pretty good rainfall for all of us came today. And we do still have some unsettled weather. This will really be over those west and east central mountains that we could see a few light showers today. Tomorrow, this is going to be mainly across Stanley, Fairfield, Ketchum, maybe even Boise too. We'll see some pretty good rain, but just to walk you through what this actually looks like and what's happening out there is we have this next cooler weather maker coming in, and so before that we start to see this front move through. All of this southwesterly flow increasing, rain showers from Washington down to Oregon, and as well as some gusty winds. So closer to home, as we start to see this front approach, we do start to see some showers organized at the front of it. Now this is going to scatter across our area, so it's not going to be consistent heavy downpour all at once, but we will see a light shower or two as we head into this afternoon. By Thursday morning and overnight, it's pretty quiet, so not very many changes here. But notice that as we head into 9 a.m. we see really just maybe a light isolated shower or two here in the Treasure Valley, with a majority of that moisture focusing over Mountain Home, Pine, and Stanley, and even a bit of dusting of snow again. By 1 o'clock, it's a lot quieter, and you mostly just get those clouds increasing. And then into the later end of the day, this is when you start to see a lot of those showers organized over Jordan Valley, Melba, Murphy, even Mountain Home. So a lot of the showers that are incoming are going to stay well off to our east as long as that low continues to track in how it does. If it does shift a little bit, we'll continue to monitor this, but again, rainy overnight coming for our really eastern Idaho. So just a heads up again there. By the time we head into the weekend, it's going to be pretty quiet, but we do still see some rain chances even by Friday morning for Glens Ferry and Mountain Home. Dusting of snow coming for those east central mountains. So it doesn't look like we're done with the fresh pow just yet. I can't wait for ski season, honestly. But either way, rain chances sticking with us through at least Friday. Very minimal Saturday and Sunday, lower 60s. Into next week, the cool weather trend continues on, and we get a little bit more sunshine out there too.
Changes are coming to this busy stretch of Locust Grove in between Fairview and Ustick in Meridian. I'm Meridian neighborhood reporter Ali Tripke speaking with ACHD about why they feel these safety improvements are important and how neighbors feel about the options.
So we've been hearing that congestion's been an issue on this section of Locust Grove for quite some time.
ACHD tells me the biggest change to this busy north-south route through Meridian could be adding a second lane in each direction, expanding it from 3 lanes to 5.
The city's been asking for it. It's been on their top priority for the city of Meridian the past 2 years.
Widening the roadway could come with some impacts to nearby neighbors whose properties back up to existing sidewalks.
Property impacts could be anywhere from taking a few feet of the front yard for redoing sidewalks to sometimes taking a whole home. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out what the specific property impacts along this corridor would be.
Crashes along the 1 mile section are common, with more than 220 reported in the last 4 years. While most are fender benders, there have been fatalities. In January 2023, a 10-year-old boy was killed after being hit by a truck while riding his scooter. A cross still sits along the road at Chateau Drive in Memorial.
It's a massive need.
Meridian resident Dom Gelsomino drives this stretch of Locust Grove every day, and after experiencing the traffic backup, he tells me he welcomes improvements.
Locust Grove, yes, is absolutely congested. You know, it starts off as 2 lanes and then bottlenecks. Right as you get to Fred Meyer, you're increasing the risk of potentially accidents.
As part of ACHD's Complete Streets policy, plans for bike lanes and pedestrian safety features would also be added.
And while construction is still years down the road, ACHD wants to hear from neighbors and people who drive this road. I'll include that online survey on idahonews6.com. I'm Meridian neighborhood reporter Ali Tripke for Idaho News 6.
After the break, it's Wellness Wednesday, and we're taking a look at norovirus and the best practices for both prevention and managing symptoms. It's 6:24 on a Wednesday. Welcome back to Good Morning Idaho. We're looking at the norovirus now this morning. It's on the rise, according to the CDC. Every year there's 2,500 outbreaks, and norovirus season really hits hard in November when everyone's moving indoors. It's Wellness Wednesday, where we're healthier together, and today we're getting you prepared to defend yourself against this nasty virus. If you've ever taken a cruise, you've probably noticed the extreme measures they take to get people to wash their hands every time they go near food. That's because norovirus can ruin everyone's vacation, and it usually spreads fastest in tight quarters.
Like a lot of communicable diseases, when we're in close places with other people, we're more at risk for those diseases.
Dr. Meltzer says norovirus is incredibly contagious, and according to the Cleveland Clinic, it can last on hard surfaces for up to 2 weeks. A bleach solution will kill it, but hand sanitizers not so much, which is why cruise ships often require traditional hand washing. And if you're hoping for a vaccine to stop norovirus,
we're always working on vaccines, and indeed there is vaccine research transpiring for norovirus. We're just not there yet.
And even though it's called the stomach bug often, it is not related to influenza. So getting a flu shot is not going to help you. The only solution is to stay clean and stay close to the bathroom if you get it until it runs its course. For Wellness Wednesday, I'm senior reporter Roland Barris, Idaho News 6. All right, thanks for joining us this morning on Good Morning Idaho. And we've got a lot more in store for you in our last half hour. Here's what's still to come from your neighborhood reporters.
In Jerome, details on an ongoing arson investigation as a man is accused of setting his family's home on fire.
In Boise, an update on pickleball court access and how players are adapting to the court closures.
Connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Good Morning Idaho.
Welcome back to Good Morning Idaho, everybody. Hope you're off to a good start on this Wednesday. I'm senior reporter Roland Barris. Good to have you along. We've got a lot to get to this morning from our large team of neighborhood reporters. Like a story new this morning, our Victoria Rodriguez bringing us the touching story of a Middleton woman who's turned her painful past of domestic violence into a mission of hope using therapy dogs to help other DV survivors heal. Also, our Sahana Patel follows up on the aftermath of Boise's pickleball lawsuit. Several courts now shut down in Boise over noise complaints, and some players, well, they're finding another way to get the game going. But first, let's check in on our weather with Sophia Cruz on a Wednesday morning, see if we get any more rain like yesterday. It's really weird how some areas got so much more than other areas.
Yeah, and even today we are still expecting some rain roll, and it's just not going to be as widespread as what we've seen the past couple days, and even then it was pretty on and off. Today the focus will be over our east and west central mountains, so just about a 20 to 30% chance here. We could still run into an isolated shower here in the Treasure Valley throughout our day, but tomorrow it looks like we'll see a better chance for some rain to return. So this really moves us to about 20% from Mount Home, 50% in Boise, 30 over into McCall. Now either way, it is going to start off pretty nice and dry. So for the kiddos heading into the bus stop, chilly start, grab the light jacket and keep it with you. Mid 50s on the way home. We'll be touching towards the 60s, and there'll be a bit more sunshine out there. So it is slowly cooling down as we head into October, Roland.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Appreciate the update. And we start now with arson charges out of Jerome. Our Lorian Nettleton obtained court documents in this case and breaks down what we know about the incident.
A Jerome man faces felony charges for arson, accused of setting his family's home ablaze. I'm your Jerome neighborhood reporter Lorian Nettleton looking into the investigation. 36-year-old Miguel Marquez remains in Jerome County custody, facing multiple charges, including felony arson after a fire in this neighborhood near Davis and Avenue H earlier this month. I got a copy of the probable cause affidavit through a public records request that claims Marquez's family members woke up on September 16th to the sound of smoke alarms. They traced the smoke to the suspect's bedroom, where documents show they discovered him with a fire burning in a silver bucket next to his bed. When relatives asked him to open his door, police say he refused and then threatened to burn the house down. A family member managed to force the door open with a butter knife and put out the flames. According to the affidavit of criminal complaint, that's when Marquez became violent, punching family members in the head, requiring being physically restrained until police could arrive on the scene. Officers say they found burned clothing, lighters, a THC vape, and a crystal meth pipe in Marquez's room while he continued making incoherent statements and threats. He was transferred to St. Luke's for an evaluation, and police say Marquez was initially cooperative before becoming belligerent once more. He faces 6 charges, including felony arson and misdemeanors for battery, resisting, and drug charges. A no-contact order is now in place for the family, as Marquez is held on a $30,000 bond. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for October 23rd. I'm your Jerome neighborhood reporter Lorian Nettleton, Idaho News 6.
The U.S. government officially shut down at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time after Congress failed to agree on a funding plan. The deadlock centers on health care, with Democrats pushing to reverse Medicaid cuts and extend enhanced Obamacare subsidies. As a result, 750,000 federal workers are furloughed, while essential employees work without pay. Services like food inspections, FAA operations, and passport processing are delayed, and many agencies are running with limited staff. The shutdown's impact is already being felt across the country.
President Donald Trump spoke to a gathering of military generals and admirals in Quantico, Virginia on Tuesday. That's where he gave his latest threat.
San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within.
He also suggested using American cities as training sites for the military and National Guard. The president went on to speak about seeing news coverage of troops being spit on. He said in part the new policy should be, quote, they spit, we hit.
Portland, don't take the bait.
Oregon filed an emergency motion in federal court Monday seeking a temporary restraining order to block the president's deployment of federal National Guard troops to Portland.
The president is planning to distract from all the terrible things he's doing across the country, 8 months of making the country sicker and poorer, and he wants to distract with this type of stimulation of violence that he can then use violence to justify more authoritarian control.
Portland is one of the latest cities to be targeted by the Trump administration. But in Illinois, where the Trump administration is preparing to deploy 100 military troops, the same sentiments are echoed.
This is not about safety. This is not about immigration. This is about fomenting chaos and terrorizing the people of Chicago and cities across America.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
A domestic violence survivor in Middleton is turning her own experience into a mission to help others heal with the help of her four-legged friends. I'm your Middleton neighborhood reporter, Victoria Rodriguez, learning how she's training therapy dogs and how experts say it can lead to a path of healing. Good girl. Amanda Van Lanningham founded Treasure Valley Dog Training after leaving an abusive relationship 8 years ago. She was encouraged to get a service dog, which led her to Callie.
Having Callie allowed me to gently guide myself back into doing those things. And even though I'm never going to be the person that I was before, I'm a new person now with greater skills than I had before.
Last year, Amanda found a stray dog on Highway 44. She named the dog Maggie and eventually placed her with another domestic violence survivor.
I couldn't shake the feeling that she had a purpose.
Amanda says her own dog Callie helps her with behavior interruption and deep pressure therapy.
Being in a position where I can now help people who are survivors like myself. After you have survived something like that, it gives you a great deal of independence and safety. And being able to do that is a gift.
Experts at the Women and Children's Alliance says therapy dogs can be life-changing.
Having opportunities to bring their pet with them or have their pet along their side can save someone's life.
Amanda says her goal is to continue placing therapy dogs with domestic violence survivors, giving them emotional support, independence, and hope for the future. Reporting in Boise, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Victoria Rodriguez for Idaho News 6.
It's been about a month since we first told you about the city of Boise's move to shut down some pickleball courts. I'm your Boise Bench neighborhood reporter Sahana Patel, checking in with players at Manitou Park, where just steps away I spotted pickleball players getting creative.
We're playing on a basketball court.
The Greyhawks aren't the only Boiseans on the hunt these days for a place to play pickleball. As we reported, that's because the city shut down pickleball access at Manitou and Willow Lane Park earlier this month after a noise-related lawsuit.
We started at the other park where they shut it down, and we saw just court conversion in process, and so then we looked for a plan B, and so we came here and saw the same sign. And
after scanning this QR code and only getting info on the court conversion, not where other pickleball courts were located, Brian says the family finally set up their net on a basketball court at Manitou Park.
My dad brought his own net, which is nice. I obviously didn't want to have to use it. Yeah, it's just cement. It's not as fun. It makes it difficult to play the game.
Georgia is a student at Boise State and says the city's public courts offered the perfect spot to play with her family when they came into town.
It's just you got to get guest passes. It's busy. So using campus facilities isn't always as convenient as just going to a local park.
She feels the decision to convert courts to tennis only doesn't serve the entire neighborhood. Right now, Boise has 2 dedicated pickleball court locations and 5 spots where players have to bring their own net. I reached out to the city of Boise's Parks and Recreation, and they say they're still figuring out the best locations for future pickleball courts.
It's kind of frustrating that a residential person is taking priority over the rest of the city and the community that wants to play pickleball here.
The Boise Pickleball Club, along with the Boise School District, have a combined 38 pickleball courts across 5 Treasure Valley junior highs, all open to the public. I'm your Boise Bench neighborhood reporter Sahana Patel for Idaho News 6.
6:38, let's take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood today, everyone. A heads up to drivers passing by the Boise airport. If you see smoke, don't worry about it out there. The Boise Fire Department is conducting what they regularly do. It's a series of training exercises to give hands-on experience in the case of an airport emergency response. The trainings will continue through this Saturday. Tonight is the last night of overnight ramp closures on the 10th Avenue eastbound on-ramp. ITD working to paint the pedestrian bridge over I-84, and drivers will have to detour to the Franklin Road on-ramp. A heads up to the northbound Centennial Way will have lane restrictions over the railroad during the day tomorrow. And tonight, test your knowledge of the American Revolution with Idaho Public Television. Tonight at Boise Brewing Company, it's a special trivia night celebrating the new Ken Burns documentary, The American Revolution. That's tonight from 7 to 8.
At the Idaho Central Arena, fans back to stands for some NHL hockey.
All right, neighborhood of the day is Sun Valley. It's a chilly start to the day, so grab the light jacket, upper 30s as you head out for your morning through lunchtime. We sit in the 50s, so it'll be pretty cool throughout the day. I'll be showing you the rest of the week ahead coming up.
I'm downtown Boise neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker here at Idaho Central Arena, where fans are packing the stands for a rare NHL matchup right here in Boise. We have the Utah Mammoth against the Los Angeles Kings. The Utah Mammoth faced off against the Los Angeles Kings in front of a sold-out crowd. For many, the night was about seeing the speed and the talent of the NHL up close.
It's remarkable. So growing up in Chicago and watching the Avs in Denver, watching the Coyotes in Phoenix, it's amazing. But being able to be here in Boise and to have this kind of experience in a small venue is just remarkable.
Others told us it felt special seeing the league right here at home.
Well, I'm a diehard St. Louis Blues fan, so seeing the NHL here is awesome. In my hometown, Boise. The guys are bigger, they're stronger, it's pretty cool.
And for some, the game was the perfect night out.
I love it. The energy is great. It's so much fun. Just love hockey, love Boise, love being in the community, having fun. 100%. I think we have so many people that love hockey. I feel like the stadium is sold out all the time, so why not bring in NHL teams?
Whether rooting for the Mammoth, the Kings, or just soaking up the moment, fans say the night shows the appetite for pro hockey in the Treasure Valley. The game is an exciting look ahead for the Utah Mammoth's inaugural year and another exciting season of NHL hockey. I'm your downtown Boise neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker reporting from the Idaho Central Arena for Idaho News 6.
Everyone carries a story shaped by dreams, challenges, and the people who believe in them. I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis at the College of Idaho, where those stories are seen and celebrated every day. That's why they've launched a campaign to help even more students write their next chapter through education.
Every institution has a story.
And the College of Idaho is changing the story with a new $150 million campaign. The goal isn't to enhance the 135-year-old campus, but to enrich its students' education through 4 key areas.
Academic excellence, access to education and scholarships, right? And then these high impact practices that we've been known for many, many decades.
VP Jack Cafferty emphasized how this will impact future students, welcoming those from across Idaho's rural districts and right in the college's own backyard.
Having raised about $46 million additional scholarship funds, that's what we really have to do to change the story of students here in Idaho to have an opportunity to come have a world-class education here at the college.
While initiatives of this scale take time, Cafferty says the support has already been tremendous.
Really proud of the fact that over 30,000 people, 30,000 gifts in particular, have helped us get to where we're at with $129 million.
I feel very honored and blessed to have had this experience. College is one of those amazing times in your life where you know its start date and you know its end date. Nothing else in life has that.
Senior Christian Benishek tells me his college experience working in environmental studies gives him hope that future students will get to experience the same opportunities.
I realized, oh my gosh, nowhere else would I be able to have this experience than at a place that welcomes these students and both provides an open door for them. I'm a firm believer that There are doors all around us, and the Changing the Story campaign helps open those doors.
The college tells me they're still raising money for the campaign and will continue to encourage all students to join their campus community. I'm Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis for Idaho News 6.
Right now is fine.
It's wild card playoff baseball, and the stakes are high as the San Diego Padres take on my Chicago Cubs. It's a best-of-3 series, and you can watch it all right here on Idaho News 6. The Cubs, by the way, struck first, taking Game 1 last night, and coverage of Game 2 starts today at 1 p.m. Game 3, if necessary, happens on Thursday.
Sophia Cruz with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
All right, well, good Wednesday morning to you and happy October. It's the first of the month, and as we start to head into it, it's going to be a little bit breezy and unsettled. But take a look at Sun Valley. Dusting of snow came about, and now you'll notice it's very minimal, but it is something exciting to look forward to. Mid-40s as you head out here, so chilly start to the day. Temperatures are slowly falling off for those morning lows, just about 0, almost barely any difference between Boise and Baker City, but about Ontario to Caldwell, even Mount Home, just about a 2 to 6 degree difference. We'll start to see a larger impact throughout our afternoons rather than those morning times. But either way, it's a chilly start to the day. So waking up mid-50s along your valley floors, lower 40s into your mountains this afternoon. And as we head into this afternoon, we also will be sitting with those lower 70s. So how nice is that? You get lower 70s along your valley floors, lower 60s to mid 60s if you're heading out into your mountains. As we move through the next couple days, we aren't done with the rain just yet. We remain pretty unsettled, though today will be pretty quiet in comparison to the days ahead. We have a cold front moving in. This will bring in and increase that southwesterly flow. At the front of this cold front, there's showers pushing down from Washington all the way into California. So we will see a bit of rain as we head into today and also tomorrow. And this is all again from that front moving through. So a lot of it starts off, we're in eastern Oregon and moves through the Treasure Valley, fleets through the area, but overnight it's pretty quiet out there and we mostly just see clouds increasing. Into our Thursday morning, very isolated showers just to the east of us over Stanley and Pine. Heading into that afternoon, again, once again quiet. We will see again though that chance for showers to move in as you head into that later evening tomorrow, and then as you head into Friday overnight, this is when things start to look pretty good out there. So from Mountain Home, Glenns Ferry up to Stanley, some heavy bands of rain are being picked up by the models, even a dusting of snow. This is what all that blue is right here. The pink is the rain and the snow mixing together. Behind that into the morning, looks like our models now picking up some showers just to the south of us and over into the east. So for the Magic Valley and even those east central mountains, looks like we're getting a dusting of snow and a rainy start to the day, though the Treasure Valley looks pretty quiet at that time. Either way, the weekend still looks pretty good, so you'll notice that it is going to be pretty dry through the weekend, but we do still have those rain chances Thursday and Friday, very minimal. Over the weekend, we cool to the lower 60s. Into next week, the mid 60s continue on. So it's a nice, cool, although breezy and unsettled start to October. It's going to be a really good weekend ahead, honestly. All right, it is Wednesday morning, so let's go get you ready for your commute.
The Idaho News 6 traffic report is brought to you by Champion Windows.
Okay, it is 6:50 and we are giving you a live look of downtown where a few cars are starting to head out and tackle their Wednesday. If you are, here's what it looks like on your roads right now. I-84 eastbound looking congested this morning, and yes, it already is starting off pretty busy as you head out there. Here's a look from I-84 Garrity. An accident has caused some slowdown there, so if you're traveling in this direction, you're going to want to find an alternate route to work. It's already looking pretty busy. Right now, you've got just over an hour from Caldwell into downtown. I'll continue to keep my eyes on this as we head through our morning together.
Now we'll look outside from the Treasure Valley Chevy Dealers Tower Cam.
In this morning's GMA First Look, power couple Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are officially headed toward Splitsville.
All marriages are complicated.
In filings obtained by ABC News, the Oscar-winning actress filing for divorce from the Grammy-winning country star after nearly 20 years of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. The longtime A-list couple, seemingly the epitome of love. The two-time CMA Entertainer of the Year telling us in 2013 his family gives him inspiration for his music.
Well, they inspire so much of what I do because they hear everything. You know, Nick's hearing all the songs as they're coming in, and she lives with this record as long as I do.
When a couple that's been together for so long and you see on the red carpet looking so in love splits up, it's always pretty devastating.
And we'll have much more coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Welcome back, everyone, to Good Morning Idaho. We are just wrapping up here this morning. In case you missed it, these are the top stories that we're following from our neighborhood reporters.
In Eagle, the fire department teams up with the BLM to bring a new fire station to the foothills.
Crews say it will cut crucial minutes off wildfire response times. And while some neighbors welcome the project, others have concerns about what it means for their quiet community.
In Meridian, I have more on why changes could be coming to this stretch of Locust Grove Road between Fairview and Ustick.
ACHD tells me the biggest change to this busy north-south route through Meridian could be adding a second lane in each direction, expanding it from 3 lanes to 5. Widening the roadway could come with some impacts to nearby neighbors whose properties back up to existing sidewalks.
After recent court closures on the Boise bench, pickleball players are hunting for a new place to play. The city shut down courts at Manitou and Willow Lane Park earlier this month, following a noise-related lawsuit. Some players, like the Grayhick family, say they've had to get creative, setting up their own nets on basketball courts. Right now, Boise only has 2 dedicated pickleball locations and 5 others where players have to bring their own nets. City officials say they're still working to find the best spots for future courts.
And of course, you can learn more about all these stories on our website. Just head to idahonews6.com.
Now, the Out the Door forecast, brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors.
All right, it is 6:56, and as you head out for your morning, grab the light jacket. It's still a cool start to the day with mid-50s. By lunchtime, 60s, so it'll be pretty nice throughout the afternoon ahead. Still some more sunshine today, so enjoy it and spend some time outdoors while it's nice and cool. If you want to read the rest of the forecast and see the weekend, you can head on over also to idahonews6.com. Otherwise, let's get you ready for your Wednesday morning commute.
The Idaho News 6 traffic report is brought to you by Champion Windows.
All right, it is 6:57 now. We are giving you a live look of downtown where commuters are heading out. It's hump day. We're halfway through the week. And as we make our way through the morning together, I-84 eastbound has already seen a big backup. There is an accident that has been reported across the area. You'll notice that we're already seeing those red times. So you've got just over an hour from Caldwell to Garrity right now. Garrity and Eagle under 11 and Eagle into downtown also coming in at under 7 minutes this morning. Closer to downtown still looks pretty good. So as you start to make your way out of there, it'll be a lot nicer. But Caldwell into downtown just under for really over an hour. So again, as we start to make our way out for the morning commute, it is going to be pretty busy.
All right, everybody, the results are in from Alaska's Katmai National Park Fat Bear Week. Chunk was going up against bear number 901, and Chunk has been like a second place runner-up for the last couple of years. Chunk won this year. 1,200-pound bear eating just tons of salmon these days, and even has a broken jaw, apparently. But yet that didn't stop him, just like your arm did not stop you when you dislocated it.
No, thank goodness, though. I would be so sad if I did, but that one is huge.
Right? 1,200 pounds. Wow. All right. That bear is ready for winter, everyone. And this one, I don't know what that bear is doing. Anyhow.
That's what I'm going to be doing after work, is laying down and doing nothing.
Chilling. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.